Hello everybody, Pastor Jacob with Generation Church from Louisville, Kentucky. Right now I'm in Crawford County, Indiana, where my grandparents live, and I am sitting in my tree stand. I'm going to show you my tree stand. I got to do some repairs to this thing, just some cosmetic luxury items back here. Little ate up, so get some of these things repaired, but I've had this tree stand for a long time. Nice day out in the woods today. A little bit of a slight rain, if you can hear that. A slight rain falling today from my tree stand. It's my first message ever preached from my tree stand, I think. I'm pretty sure, at least on Periscope, about being lost in the woods. You know, it was probably 3 years ago. I was in this very tree stand, and just over to my right, this nice little buck come up over there, and I drew back and was going to harvest a buck that day. I shot this buck, and I knew I hit him. After waiting in my stand for about 30 minutes, I went down, found my arrow. Arrow was covered in blood and tissue. Not to be graphic or anything, but I am talking about deer hunting. And so I go to track this deer, and so I'm tracking this deer for a long time, and I knew I stuck him. You know, everything was lining up for harvesting this deer, and it ended up I tracked this deer for over an hour, and I ended up several miles away from here on the back part of my grandparents' property. And at some point I lost all trace of this deer. I had no more signs of blood or an injured deer, which is certainly, as a hunter, as a responsible hunter, it's not what I want. I wanted to find this deer and harvest this deer and to be able to feed my family and others with this deer. But just to show you the responsibility side of hunting, I don't have a thrill of killing. I enjoy being able to buy sustainable food for my family, or to hunt sustainable food for my family, but that's not the point of this message. So after being on the back part of my grandparents' property, I was lost. I mean, I had a general idea where I was, but really I didn't know where I was. And I was unfamiliar with the part of ground I was on. So I'd called my grandparents and asked them to fire off a round from a shotgun or something, just to kind of give me a direction. But my point of that is, when I started to realize I was lost, I started to get very confused. My thinking wasn't right. I tried to backtrack my steps. I thought, you know, I'm an intelligent person. I should be able to figure out where I am. But I didn't. I didn't know. My thoughts weren't clear. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing, and I needed help. I was lost, and I knew I was lost, and I needed help. My thoughts weren't clear. I couldn't comprehend what was going on. And you know, a lot of times in life, the people that are lost in this world, lost to the things of God, they're lost to the kingdom of God, they're lost to the presence of God in their life. They're confused and they don't know their way, just like I was in the woods. They're confused and they don't know they're confused. You know, I had been lost for probably a half an hour before I realized I'm lost. You know, I kept thinking, oh, I know I can do this. I could figure it all out and different things. And you know, a lot of times that's the way the people in the world, they're good people. It didn't make me a bad hunter or a bad person, especially because I got lost in the woods. There are people that are in the world and they're lost. And it doesn't mean that we should be seeking these people and helping them find their way. As a Christian, that's you know, to me, one of my primary responsibilities, not to dictate how people should live their life. I don't care what you have for breakfast. I don't care. You know, there's a lot of things I don't care. I mean, even stuff like drinking alcohol. I care. I don't drink alcohol. I think it's a bad representation of a preacher, but But I'm not going to harp on everybody about drinking alcohol. You know, I stopped drinking alcohol when the love of God filled me to the point where I didn't need it, you know, and I'm more joyful now than I've ever been. So you know, and that's not a hit on people that drink alcohol, because I have a lot of friends that drink alcohol. I don't promote it, but I don't condemn them for doing it. But anyways, there's lost people that they don't think right. They don't think right. When you're lost, you don't think right. I had a couple people, I saw some responses to posts on Facebook and social media. Everything these days is relegated to social media. But I seen some comments and different things from people that I was like, man, they don't see it. Sometimes, you know, as somebody who's been born again for 15 years, preaching the gospel for almost 15 years, and doing my best to consecrate my life over this period of time, not perfect by any means, but definitely trying to improve my life and improve my relationship with God. You know, I think some things should be a little more clearer to people, but I realize that I used to be them. I used to be lost, and somebody had to show me. Somebody had to help me find my way. You know, another example of this I'll give is thinking about the school shootings that happened in New Jersey. You know, or any school shooting or any tragedy, the theater shootings. You could bring up a lot of different examples, but you know, people ask me about that all the time. How could God let, you know, especially when it was a hot topic in the media, how could God let something like this happen? Well, I mean, He'll let happen what we let happen, but that's not even my point right now. Here's something to think about. This guy that went in and shot all those kids at school, what would drive somebody to do that? You know, nobody as an 8-year-old says, I want to grow up and kill a bunch of kids, you know. By and large, children in our society are protected and adored. You know, you take a little baby into Walmart and see how much attention you get, especially if it's a cute baby like mine, but all 3 of mine. But so this guy that goes into this school and shoots up people, and here's the answer I give people. We have a world out here. Have you ever lost your keys? I've lost my keys before. And when I lose my keys or my wallet or something like that, I start looking for them, and then, you know, the longer that I'm missing them, and I've got an appointment to get to and different things, the longer I'm missing these keys, the more frustrated I get. There's a anxiety building up on the inside of me, a frustration building up on the inside of me, because I feel like I need these keys. There's something out there that's important to me, and I can't find it, and it's causing me some problems. And you know, the longer you can't find the keys, you know, 20, 30 minutes go by, I don't know, sorry for shaking that, but for 20 or 30 minutes go by, and eventually, if you're like me, you're going to start doing some things irrational. You know, there's been times, not this week, but I'm growing out of some of this frustration. But there have been times where I've turned my trash can upside down and dumped trash all over the floor just to look for these keys. And they're not there. But I would never do that. You know, if a fork went in there, the fork is gone, baby. We'll get another fork, you know. But there's something about those keys, or there's something about that wallet, you know, and you're looking through your drawer and you're starting to pull out all these nice folded clothes. You're pulling out all these things, being irrational. And so many times when you're looking for something and you can't find it, and nobody can help you find this thing that you know is so important in your life, and you can't find it, you start doing irrational things. And the world out there, they know, and you know, I've been saying this now for about 6 months, and it's becoming bigger and bigger inside of me. The whole world wants Jesus. If you're watching this, you want Jesus. When I tell you that Jesus brings peace, that Jesus brings joy, if I don't put Jesus on it, if I just say who wants peace in their life, who wants joy in their life, who wants a confidence that you can live out your life having your needs met, you know, who wants to be healed, who wants to be delivered from addiction, who wants to have all the benefits that, you know, Jesus provide. If I don't put the Jesus tag on it and ask anybody in the world, they're going to want it. That's what we're searching for. The world is searching for this thing, this substance, and the substance is Jesus. We all want Jesus. And when drugs don't fill it, sex doesn't fill it, alcohol alone, any of those things don't fill it, when money doesn't fill the need, when all these other things don't fill the need, you become irrational. And you start doing irrational things. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to go into a school and shoot up kids. That's the extreme. But you start looking for a different mate. You start looking for different substances. You start looking for, your life is unstable. That's why people, it used to be people worked one job 20 years and retired, or 30, or whatever the case may be. But now we go from job to job to job to job because we're unfulfilled. And I'm here to tell you there's only one person that can fill that void in your life, and his name is Jesus. His name is Jesus. It's time to stop being frustrated. It's time to stop being confused and lost in the woods. When you're lost in the woods, you need somebody to help you find your way. And I want to help you find your way. His name is Jesus, and he loves you. He loves you very much. He loves you so much that he became one of you just so that he could die for you, to pay your price and my price. And that's what you're missing in your life. I was missing that in my life. And I did every drug I can imagine. People they still ask me when I minister to drug addicts, they say, what was your drug of choice? And it was always no-brainer, what you got? I was just searching for something to fill that emptiness that was on the inside of me, that nothing was fulfilling it. Nothing was. And then I met Jesus. And everything fills that. Jesus fills every void in your life. You might be lost in the woods. You might not know your way, but I'm here to tell you there is a way. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And he wants to be that in you today. I've been lost in the woods. It's not a fun feeling. It's kind of scary. But when my grandma, that example I gave you earlier, when my grandma came outside and she actually honked her horn on her car, and I started hearing that horn honk, there was a comfort came on the inside of me. Because now I know my way. I know my way out of the woods. Well, in life, there's only one way out of the wilderness, and his name is Jesus. When you're lost and you're confused, you need to remember his name is Jesus. That's a long enough scope for today. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for the hearts. Thank you for the people viewing it. You can swipe to the left or to the right and share these if you so desire. I would appreciate that. Once again, Generation Church, a lot of exciting things. Oh, I can't even, it'd take another 40 minutes for me to talk about all the cool things going on with GC right now. But we just are humbled by God moving in our church and in our lives. And stay tuned, world, because we're going to get to do some pretty cool stuff. Amen. God bless you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. If you don't have a church home, I don't care if you're in New Jersey, New Brunswick, or London, I don't care where you are. Get into a church service tomorrow. You need to be around people that will believe with you and pray for you and love on you and help you find your way out of the wilderness. Get into it. And if you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, well, just saying, just perhaps. Anyways, God bless you guys. Have a great day.